a video tutorial from Leapin Lizard Labels. Today we're going to do a demonstration on how to measure different shapes of containers to get labels. So to put a label on a round container or a cylindrical container, we may want to put a label on the top of the container, which is actually a circle. So to do that, you will need to know the diameter of the circle. So go ahead and measure all the way across the top. You want to try to get the largest measurement possible to measure the diameter of the circle. So for example, this one looks about 2.5 inches. Your designers might prefer that you measure using inches. Now, to measure the outside of the circle, we actually, to put a label on the outside, we need to know the circumference of a circle. So to do that, we actually would like to use a mathematical formula. So the formula is circumference equals pi times the diameter of the circle. And remember, pi is that ancient number that people have been studying for thousands of years, which actually represents the ratio of the circumference to the diameter of the circle. So, if we were using this as an example, again, our diameter was about 2.5 inches that we measured. And then to find the circumference, which means the measurement around the outside of the circle, we do circumference equals pi, which is about 3.14 times our diameter, which was 2.5 inches. All right, so 3.14 times 2.5. So 7.85 inches is about our circumference. And then actually we want to subtract away a little bit because we would love for there to be a tiny 1/8 of an inch gap between the two sides of the labels. That just makes it so much easier because it's very, very hard to get them to exactly line up. So 1/8 of an inch gap would be a nice gap to have. So we're going to figure out, oh, what's 1/8 of an inch? It's 0.125 inches. So now we're going to subtract away 0.125 inches in order to find the exact correct width for our labels. 7.85 minus 0.125. And I get 7.725 inches. And that will be the number that you would report to your designer for the width of the label. Containers come in all shapes and sizes. You should think about how you want to present your item to your customer. Do you want a top label? Do you want a wraparound label? If you have an unusual shaped container, would you like a front label, a back label, or a wraparound label? These are all things to consider. Also, Leapin Lizard Labels can do die cuts to make labels any shape that you want. So look at this unusually shaped container. Notice that it's actually wider at the top of the container than it is at the bottom of the container. So you need to make both measurements in order to make sure that your label is accurate to what you want. When you're looking at containers that curve on the edges, one important thing to consider is to not end the label when there's an extreme curve on the bottle. So you may want to do a measurement. This one looks about 2 inches. That would nicely fit on just the front of this container. Maybe you could do another label just on the back of the container. That way you're not ending your label at an irregular curve on your container. One tip you might try is measuring things out and cutting out a post-it note, seeing if those measurements fit your container. Thank you for watching our video on measuring for labels. We have a very talented design team at Leapin Lizard Labels, but giving them accurate measurements will help ensure a smooth process from design to printing. If you have any questions about the sizing of your label, please feel free to contact us at team@leapinlizardlabels.com.